Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss the case study of a company which is one of the most talked about stock in the stock market today, Tata Consumer Products. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe right now and hit the bell icon, and don't forget to join my Telegram channel because there we are discussing lots of interesting stock specific and market specific views and discussions. So why we have chosen Tata Consumer? Because it was the most highest voted stock among the four options in my YouTube community. So next time do participate in the YouTube community poll and choose your favorite stock to make the next video. So let us begin. Tata Global Beverages company was the earlier company, and the consumer products business was taken out from Tata Chemicals and merged into Tata Global Beverages. And then the company was renamed as Tata Consumer Products. So this merger from Tata Chemicals was to concentrate on the consumer products business and to make one of the biggest companies in India. So what are the brands which are coming under this company? In Tata Beverages earlier there were Tata Tea, Tetley, Himalayan, and from chemicals, the consumer products, these products called Tata Salt, Tata Sampann, all these products have now come into Tata Consumer Products. So now this company has a combined reach of about 200 million households. So it has a very wide network and reach. And if at all they want to launch any new brand, the Tata brand gives them a lot of trust and advantage from the customer's point of view. And as you know, they have a joint venture with Starbucks. So all the India stores of Starbucks are a joint venture between Starbucks and the Tata Group. They have recently completely acquired the stake in a company called Nourishco. Earlier, it was a joint venture between PepsiCo and Tata Group. And recently, in May 2020, they have taken over the complete stake, and now it is under the Tata Group. In this company, they make some beverages. Let us see the management. Mr. N. Chandrasekaran is the chairman of this company and the chairman of the board of the Tata Sons, which is the main promoter company of all the Tata Group companies. He has a 30-year career track record in the TCS up to the CEO level, and he has authored a book called Digital Nation. He has awarded several doctorates, honorary doctorates by various universities in India and abroad, and he has been a director on the RBI board from 2016 to 2020. The managing director, CEO of Tata Consumer Products is Mr. Sunil D'Souza, who is the former managing director of Whirlpool India. He has served for 15 years in PepsiCo, 26 years of experience in the consumer products industry, and he had started his career with HUL, and he is a postgraduate diploma in management from IIM Calcutta. So you see that the company is managed by very good people, and the promoters of the company, the Tata Group, are also very trustworthy, reliable since several decades in India. Let us see some milestones of this company. In 1964, the Tata Group created an alliance with with a company called James Finlay and entered into the tea business. In 1976, they took over the Finlay's production and marketing completely. 1983, Tata Salt was launched. 1985, Tata Tea. The Polypack, the plastic Polypack version was launched. In 1993, they launched Tetley brand. In 2005, they acquired Good Earth brand from USA. In 2006, they acquired 8 O'Clock brand. In 2007, they invested in the Himalayan natural mineral water company. In 2009, they acquired Grand, a coffee brand of Russia. In 2011, they entered into a partnership for Nourishco with PepsiCo. In 2012, they entered into a joint venture with Starbucks. In 2014, they acquired MAP Coffee, which is a brand of Australia. In 2015, they launched a brand called Tata Sampann, which deals in pulses and spices. In 2017, they started retail stores of the retail tea shops like Starbucks is for coffee. They started for tea and small snacks called Tata Cha, which the pilot store was launched in 2017. In 2020, the merger happened and now the company is called Tata Consumer Products post merger. So let us see the business structure of this group pre and post merger. So the Tata Chemicals Limited earlier, it had 84% of some other business and 16% of consumer products business. And Tata Global Beverages had 43% Indian beverages business, 45% international beverages business, and 12% miscellaneous business. Then what happened is 16% of this business of Tata Chemicals got merged into Tata Global Beverages, and now post merger Tata Consumer Products Limited has 35% of Indian beverages business, 21% of the revenue comes from Indian foods, 34% comes from international beverages, and 10% from others. So this is the present structure, but the group is very keen in expanding the business share of Indian foods, and they want to concentrate a lot on that and make this company into one of the leading consumer products company in India. Why this merger has happened? Because they wanted to make a very big consumer products company and they wanted to diversify into multiple food categories also. They wanted to create a many market leading brands and they want to have a significant international presence in many more countries than they already have. They wanted to synergize both the businesses because earlier for beverages they were doing distribution marketing in one company. For food products they were doing distribution marketing in another company. If we combine both of these, the same teams for marketing, distribution, supply chain, everything can be combined and used to save cost and to improve efficiencies and advantages. And they want to have a market leading position in the food and beverages segment in India. So this was the purpose of merger of these two segments into Tata Consumer Products Limited. So what are the products this company deals in? They are into all these products which you see on the screen, where you have salts, you have tea, you have ready-made food products, water, and several other things. So Tata Salt is the largest salt brand in India, as you know. Second largest brand of tea is Tata Tea. Tetley is the fourth largest brand in UK, and fourth largest brand of R&G coffee in USA is 8 o'clock. So Tata Sampann is one of the leading nourish pulses and spices brand, and Himalayan, as you know, is the market leader in the natural mineral water segment. So broadly, what are the product segments right now in this company? Tea and coffee is one segment where the brands like Tata Tea, Tetley, 8 o'clock, and they recently acquired another brand called Dhansari Tea, which has Kala Ghoda and Red Gola brands. This is to have a strong presence in Rajasthan. Then the next segment is the food. In food segments, they have limited products right now like Tata Salt and Tata Sampann, but they are very keen in expanding this segment. Liquid beverages, they have Himalayan water, Tata Gluco Plus, Tata Water Plus, and now in the out of home segment wherein they have independent stores for tea and coffee, they have Tata Cha, which is their own homegrown brand, which has seven outlets right now in Bangalore. And as you know, it has a joint venture with Starbucks, which has more than 100 outlets in the country. Let us understand the market in the industry. The market size as per 2019 is roughly about 30 lakh crore of this particular business. In that 70% is in the kitchen products like pulses and spices and all those stuff. On the table products are 20% like sauces and other things. On the go products are 10% like chips and other things which you can carry ready made and eat. So the market size of food and beverages, as we discussed, 30 lakh crore. Organized players are still less. So there is a lot of untapped market which gives this company a lot of potential for future growth. The demand is shifting towards branded products, as you and me are preferring branded products, healthier products. So this is an advantage to this company. And in future, up to 2030, 1 out of every 2 households is going to be a upper middle class household. So their affordability to buy products is going to increase. So the young consumers like you and me who are growing, they are also connecting more through social media and other factors to different brands. So our chances of buying branded products is higher than the unbranded products like the earlier generations used to buy. So all the factors in the market in the industry section is positive for the growth of this company. Who could be the possible competitors now and in future? Right now, if you see CCL Products, Rosel India are these competitors, but going further, they are going to compete with the biggest players in the industry like HUL, Nestle, Britannia, Parle, and many more, as you know. What could be the competitive advantage which Tata Consumer Products may have? They have very deep understanding of the consumers because they are already into this business. People trust the Tata brand a lot. So even if they launch new products, people will fearlessly buy and use them. They have a vast reach of 200 million households already, and they have a vast portfolio of market leading brands in tea and salt and other segments. They are continuously innovating and creating new products, and they have a huge infrastructure of production marketing. They have more than 50 factories already. So these will be the advantages when compared to its competitors. What are the growth prospects of this company going further? They have completed recently an acquisition of the entire stake of PepsiCo in Nourishco. They plan to become one of the biggest food and beverages company in India post merger. They are into lot of digital marketing initiatives, and they are developing new and new technologies. They are concentrating on the online business like e-commerce sales. They are recently acquired a brand in Rajasthan called Dhansari Tea. There are 39 Starbucks store which have opened in financial year 2020, and going further there will be many more. But this sector, due to COVID and other scenarios, may face a little slowdown, but going further it has a very bright future. What are the risks which this company may face? This company may face some global economic and political factors, issues which all the companies normally face. The interest rates and exchange rates may impact because they have a lot of revenue from outside India. The commodities prices may fluctuation may affect their margins because the raw material and other things may change. The plantation yield, because they are related to the tea business, the yield every year might affect the business of this company. They have a lot of dependency on the distribution network, so if there is any disturbance in that, that may be risky. And since they are into food business, the quality and safety is very important of their products, because recently we saw with Maggi there was a very big issue, something like that. If it happens, that may a big risk to a company in this sector. Let us come to the financials part. Quarter on quarter, compared to last June, if we see the Q1 results, revenue is up by 13%, EBITDA by 37%, profit before tax by 42%, and net profit of the group by 82%. So on quarter on quarter, the performance has been very good in spite of the lockdown. This has a impact of the merger also. The margins, if you see, the EBITDA margin is 17.9, which is pretty decent. Profit before tax 16.1, and net profit is 12.7, which is again very good. The margins expansion, there has been a 480 basis points expansion in the net profit margin. The earning per share is 3.55, which is up by 89% when compared to the same quarter in the earlier year. So the quarter on quarter result has been pretty decent. Comparing the operating volumes of the products year on year, tea, coffee and salt, all the products in terms of volume, they are increasing year on year. Now when we see the reach, as we have discussed, is 200 million, 185 is the total number of Starbucks stores recently. Out of the total revenue of this company, only 15% is coming from online trade and modern trade. Modern trade is the supermarkets and the other modern retail channels. So if you see, there is a lot of scope left for the modern trade to contribute to the sales of this company. It has a reach of 2.5 million retail outlets, which is very huge to push their new products. And they have 7 Tata Cha stores, which is in the initial stage. And once this clicks, it can expand to hundreds and hundreds of stores. Now, if you see the year on year revenue, it has a 33% growth. Profit before tax has a 41% growth, and net profit just 1% growth when compared to the previous year. These are the consolidated figures which we are discussing after the merger. If you see the operating capital employed percentage, it is dropped down to 8.1%. Operating capital employed excluding goodwill and brand is increased 28.7%. Segmental revenue, if you see, the branded products are contributing more when compared to the previous year. So the earning per share in financial year 2020 is rupees 5. This is reduced because post merger the equity share capital is expanded. The promoter shareholding is only 34.69. Normally we expect this to be high, but that's how the Tata Sons promoter holding is maintained, with a minor pledge which may be removed very soon. The FIIs and DIIs have a lot of confidence in this company. FIIs holdings have increased in June quarter to 19.49% and DII to 25.43%. So they have a very major stake. The other retail investors and other people have about 20.38%. The equity capital is consistent except the merger. The reserves are fast growing. The debt is very low in this company and the debt equity ratio is around 0.09. There's a cash balance in cash and bank equivalents of about 1121 crores. So it is a cash rich company. The cash flow from operations is 1082 crores and cash flow in investing activities is 672 crores. So it has a positive free cash flow. Now when it comes to dividend, it's a dividend paying company, paid 2.7 rupees per share in the current year, which is 270% of its face value of rupees 1. Dividend yield is 0.49, so dividend yield is less because they are investing in their growth. So if somebody wants to invest in high dividend yield companies, this is not the right choice right now. The profit before depreciation, interest and tax margin is about 14.5%, which is decent. Net profit margin is 5.55, which is less, but this may become better as the synergies are formed after the merger. Return on capital employed and ROE is 3.33 and 7.03, which is pretty less as per me, but as the company grows post merger, we are expecting this to grow up. The inventory turnover ratio is 5.63. Average sales growth in the last 3 years is about 13% and last 5 years is about 5%. So sales growth overall post merger, including the post merger effect, we see the sales growth is not that fast, but the company has strong future growth plans. Coming to the valuations part, the last trading price is about 545. 52-week high and low is 213 to 556. So this is trading almost at the 52-week high. The last 1 year it has given a return of about 105%. So it has more than doubled. 5 years 375%. So in terms of returns, the stock has given very good returns. The market cap of this company is more than 50,000 crores. So it's a large cap stock. The PE is 92, which is very expensive. Industry PE is 60 because normally in this industry the PEs are very high. Earning per share is about 6 rupees and price book ratio is about 4.65. So PB, in terms of PB, it is not very high, I would say, but in terms of PE, it is expensive. Intrinsic value, although I've put in the presentation, but I wouldn't give much value to the intrinsic value because I feel investing in this company, investing in the stock, should be decided based on their future plan and the future growth. If you feel that the company has scope of growing and if you believe in their plans, if you believe in the brand, if you believe in the management, then you should not look much at the valuations and the intrinsic value and you should invest in this company. Let us see a broad price chart of the last 5 years. So it's a decent chart which is a continuous increase. Pre-COVID in February, March, it was trading around 400 levels and it went to 267 in March. Right now also the major support is somewhere around 400, and in term, if at all you choose to invest in this company, I would say you should start investing at the current levels and continue to invest like an SIP or in installments over a period of time. Let us discuss some recent news and announcements. As we discussed, completed acquisition in the entire stake of PepsiCo in NourishCo. The tea prices in India continue to rise, that is why their margins have decreased a little. After the merger, they are expecting to get a lot of synergies and advantages, and all their factories are operational right now, and almost 60% of the Starbucks stores are also operational right now. So this is about Tata Consumer Products. I've given you all the indicators so that you can take the right decision of investing into the stock. To summarize, this has a market leading position in lot of segments and brands. They have lot of brand advantage because of the Tata Group, and it's a large cap stock. They're consistent in the growth. The management is experienced and trustworthy. They are continuously growing and they have very strong growth plans. They are unlocking synergies, so there will be advantages after the merger. The debts are in control, but the valuations are very high because people are hopeful and very much positive about this, and that is why you see that the stock is not falling at all. The profitability and returns are still low, but they are expected to grow in the future. The sector is a little slow in terms of the recent developments, and the company may face strong competitions with other companies like HUL and Nestle as they grow further. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you like it. If you want me to make videos on your favorite companies, do comment the name of that company's stock in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Join my Telegram channel, subscribe to my channel, and have a great day.